Live mo na? Hold on.
Hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
Michael.
Good
I sent you a
evening,
PM.
guys.
Go check it out first. All right.
I checked PM. Where's
Facebook,
the
man.
PM? I didn't see. Oh,
Check it
Facebook
out,
and Facebook.
bro.
How you guys been since our last
Which was
stream,
what,
which
Saturday?
was
It was just like 2 days ago.
days back? Yeah.
I am doing pretty good. We're moving stuff still, so I got like my stand here, the mic, but I haven't really connected the mic. Slowly, slowly.
Oh wow.
It,
You're you're
It's
it's
turning into a
you're really
studio.
going all out for the episode for the special guest we have today. I know I went all out because I moved this lamp behind me from over there to over here so that it doesn't look like so that there's some semblance of preparation here.
Will your lighting
Yeah,
expert be? Will
this is
your
the
lighting expert
closest
make
I'm
an appearance
getting
again?
to some kind of preparation here. I'm thinking of putting like a poster of him here, but it seemed a little too much.
it's
I mean,
too tacky.
I have one already,
Oh, for
and
reals?
truthfully, the poster that I have of him can't be shown on live stream. Also, it's a little risque, so I can't
Ah,
put it up. I can't put it up.
how was
There
your
are a
weekend,
bunch
guys? But yeah, how was
So
your Sunday?
between the last time we talked and today was just 2 gaming sessions
yeah,
of Cyberpunk. So
I'm
there's
I'm
nothing
very
happened.
I'm
Nothing happened.
I'm very this is a this is the feeling I had before nung nung nireply ako ng crush ko parang hindi ko ma- and
um,
by the way my wife is watching. Hi, this is the first time she's watching the show. So
wow.
hi
Hello,
Han.
Ronnie.
Hi Han, it's good that you're here. There are a bunch of people watching us right now. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey, thanks, guys.
We have Seth saying, "Please, Lord, this is not a prank. If it's really Derek Ramsay, somebody from Comedy with a fake beard, we will show you. Don't worry." Jail. Bayet says, "I'm hoping to." Yeah, we're not gonna do anything like that.
Yeah.
Angie says, "Mabuhay Pete, maligayang Pasko." Thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you very much, Angie.
I says, "Would it be so bad if it's just Andren?" It wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I
It
mean,
wouldn't be
the,
so
look,
bad.
the looks of Andren and our guest are kind of similar, so I would say it's not as bad. It's not as bad, but anyway, I don't think we should keep things any longer because I'm thinking the longer we stay up, and people will not believe that we have a guest today.
Yeah,
that
we
is
have a
true.
guest tonight, so
So I will do the honors. Our guest today is a very very famous actor and model in the Philippines, and he was in our short list of people we really wanted to talk to when we were kind of re-envisioning what the show wanted to be. And I don't know if it was you, Jethro, or myself. Was it you, Jethro, who suggested?
No, I
I
think
think
it
it
was
was you. Yeah,
I
it
think it
was
was
you,
you.
Mike.
It was me. I think
Okay.
I randomly saw a few posts about him, and I just said, he's such an interesting guy, and every time he's interviewed, he seems such like a cool guy you could actually sit down and talk to. So I was thinking, hey, maybe let's just drop him a message and see if he says yes.
The
And then
interesting thing is
Jethro
I've
did that.
already interviewed him like maybe 10
Yeah.
years ago, and as I mentioned already to him that he's the gold standard in terms of interviews that I've had
Oh yeah.
over the years.
I remember you saying that because
Yep.
we said let's try this, and then we get a panic response from Jethro the next day saying, "Guys, he replied, what do I do?" And you say yes. That's what we want. So
All right.
without further ado, guys, let's give a warm welcome. Kids are asleep. Welcome to the always charming Derek Ramsay. Derek, welcome to the show. Thank you so much
Hey,
for coming.
boys.
See? It's not a prank.
Thanks
It's
for
not a
having me,
prank.
guys. Thank you.
Derek,
How are you guys?
please reassure the people that this is actually you. It's not a prank.
Yes, it's me. I've got the full-on beard and I've got some hair now, but it's still me. Um, thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, Jeffrey, we did an interview way back, and
Yeah,
when
that was at Doc Marlon's house for State Magazine. I think you
yeah,
were
yeah,
the first live interview that I've had. Actually, I was just starting out as a profile writer back then. The first one that I did was Sam Milby, but that was only over the phone, and then an editor called me up and said, "Can you do Derek Ramsay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do Derek." And then I went there, and you guys were doing the shoot for the cover, and that was
Yeah.
the first shoot that I've ever done, ever seen actually. And there were models there shooting with you, female models, young models, sexy models,
Yeah,
and they
I
were in.
remember that interview.
You
Yeah,
did.
that was a crazy shoot because I remember that shoot. They were using some foreign model, and she was just like so game that right. You could see her actually her top. I was like,
Yeah,
okay. I
she
was kind
was.
of uncomfortable with it too, right? I was like, okay, this is kind of strange, but
You didn't show it, man. But so, so the models were all in various states of undress, and everybody was pretending
yeah.
that it's business as usual. So, and that was my first time being in a shoot like that, and I had to pretend to. But internally, I was like, "What? What's this?" That was
Well,
crazy.
Jeff, I was that was my first time to experience that too, so we were on the same boat.
Okay, I thought that was the norm, man. Like, oh, so this is the day. This is a day in Derek Ramsey's life. Models in various states of undress and then taking pictures with him. Okay, I can live with that. That's not my lot in life, but good for
See,
you, Derek.
for you, Jethro, it was like this is the most amazing day of your life, and for Derek, it's like this is Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
That
Um,
was
so
definitely mind blowing.
so
But the interview itself was also pretty good, and that's the reason why I was really, pushing for this, because I remember during our conversation, we had so many good things that we talked about that while I was reviewing the recording and finally writing the article down, I was begging my editor in chief for an extra page, and he was giving me the weird eyebrow because really, it's like, but really, there were so many things, and yeah, it didn't happen, and that's why we have another interview session now, or rather a hangout, so that we can at least bring more of those answers out and expose it to more people. So
All right.
Awesome, awesome,
So,
awesome.
Mike, I think the most person who's most excited to interview you here is Mike. All right. Are you going to ask him about
no,
how
no,
does he
no.
feel that you have a match
I am
on him, Mike?
I
look
mean,
there.
Mike, it's kind of strange that you have a poster of me. Um, I'm
especially
assuming.
since
I don't look, Derek. Look, Derek. There are two kinds of people in this world. Okay, there are people who think you're handsome, and then there are fucking liars. Those are the two kinds of people in the world.
the best part of you having a poster is that you're in Malaysia, meaning that you have brought that poster
That
with you
poster
when you went there.
from the Philippines,
So
man.
there was a conscious decision to bring it there.
I had to. It was the one thing that reminded me of home. Um,
Also, you're
um,
the guy who stole that standee from that donut place, right?
I told you that in confidence, Jeff. I told you that in confidence.
Ah, come
Anyway,
on, man.
before I continue, I just wanted to really quickly comment what my wife said, which is my smile is as big as Mike's smile.
Just to give you a context, Derek, Ronnie never gets herself involved in this show until today. So
Yeah.
Hi,
Um,
Ronnie.
so before we continue, there's a bunch of people here who just wanted to say hi to you,
Hi.
Derek. Before we continue, because I'm sure if we just read through the comments, the show would be over. I think
okay.
there is a Derek. Rem says, "Hi Derek, I'm watching. Pa shout out naman, please."
Hi, Remlin.
Sorry. Bayet says hi to all watching from Laguna.
Hello.
Uh,
Wow.
Peter says, "Hello, Titos. Glad to be here."
Yo, Peter, what's up? Yeah, he's my
And
friend.
then as soon as you jumped in, we got the grabe, holy mother. I says everyone in the comment is busy picking up their jaws from the floor.
Is it their jaws really, eyes? Is it the jaws really?
Yeah. This is my brother saying we both know Kuya's smile is much bigger. That is
I like
true.
how your entire family is tuning in
Hey,
right
Vic.
now.
This, look, I have been on iFlix. I have headline shows, and this is probably the proudest moment of the Sadi family, right? Debbie
Your
says,
Indian ancestors are very happy right now. In Mike,
yes,
like they're in.
Bobby,
The gods are blessing
they're in
right now.
wherever they are.
Mhm.
Baby says, Papa Derek. Mimi says, hi guys and Derek. Oh, thank you. Guys, still
We're just
tayo.
guys now. We're
Guys, still
guys.
tayo. So before we forget, we just I remember we messaged you, and then there was a while wherein you took a while to reply for us, and then Jeff realized, oh no, it's because you had recently celebrated your birthday. Happy birthday, man!
Happy birthday, man.
Belated
Thanks,
happy
man.
birthday, Derek.
It's been a crazy week. The celebrations haven't stopped. I think it kind of died down today, but yeah, since that my birthday's on the 7th and we started on the 6th, and probably the celebrations just ended yesterday. We were at the beach, so good way to end this crazy year that we've all experienced. It's
It
just different.
sort of brings you back to earth when you're like, okay, that was all fun. Now let's talk to three sweaty men.
This is the reality check, Derek. Welcome back.
Yeah,
How
Sagittarius
was
power though.
how was how was can I ask how old you are?
Wow, I'm a big 44.
Damn,
Ooh.
dude,
Seriously?
happy 44,
We
man.
all right. That all right.
44.
I'm logging out. I'm younger than you by what? Like what? 6 years? And
Come
I
on,
look
Jeff.
like 60. I look like
Come on,
60.
Jebs.
It's cool.
We gotta go hit the gym, Jebs.
No,
Derek, the
Derek,
problem is with the
15
gym
minutes
hits
a
back.
day. That's all I do. 15 minutes a day.
Okay, all
Mike,
right.
you were saying something, Mike.
I'm saying the problem, the gym hits back. That's probably why we don't hit the gym.
I think my leg will be cut off because of diabetes first before I go to the gym because I am diabetic. But it's cool. I'm crying
We
inside.
got a bunch
All
of
right.
people here saying happy birthday. They're saying happy birthday.
Oh, it's Nurse. Thank you, Nurse.
We got Merlin saying here, hi Derek, watching here from Pampanga.
Hi,
That's
Merlin.
nice. So you said you had a crazy birthday week. What did you do besides go to the beach?
Well, we did the salubong. That's a funny story. I was really, really tired that day, and some friends surprised me and came over, brought some food and a few drinks, and I was like, all right, hang out with these guys for a bit. And then they're like, no, we're gonna make salubong. So I was like, oh no, I already invited some of my boys to go golfing at 6:30 in the morning, birthday golf. So I can't back out because I was the one that initiated everything. And so I'm there looking at my watch, waiting for 12 to hit, and they sing happy birthday, and I'm like, all right, guys, get out.
Time to go home.
I appreciate what you guys did. Thanks for the love, but get out. I gotta go golfing. So that's when it started. And then on my birthday, I actually had the birthday golf, and then I had the blessing of my new home and a small celebration with some close friends and family. And it ended up being a big night. So I nursed a really bad hangover on the 8th. But yeah, it's just
As you
continued to
should.
the beach. Yeah.
As
Is
you
it
should,
is
man.
it is it even really a birthday party if you don't have a hangover? Come on, Derek.
Come on,
You got-
Mike. No, Mike. Coming from you, no. The square in this group is asking somebody. All right, you don't even
No.
drink.
That's my point, Jeps. I've never celebrated a birthday. That's my point.
There you
is I
go.
never had a hangover. That's my point. That's my point.
The weird thing, Derek, is when you're mentioning like different events in your birthdays. Like in my head, there's still the visualization has foreign models in various states of undress involved.
No.
Oh, it's a salubong. 12 o'clock. Happy birthday, Derek. And then suddenly
Very,
people are
very,
taking their
very
tops off
far
again.
from that. Very far from that.
Okay.
It was close friends, and I didn't drink like when we were kids and get drunk to um, drink up to get wasted. I was just like enjoying being around so many people, being there for me, and you just keep putting them back because you're just having so much fun. And next thing you know, oh Lord, now I feel like I'm 44.
The liver has to
That's
remind you.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's us every day, though. Yep.
Oh,
We wake up.
man.
Oh, I'm me. I forgot I'm me today. So yeah. But We have like a series of questions. I think Mike has prepared a series of questions as well regarding. But yeah, that was really awesome. We did the birthday as well, Mike. We did a salubong for you too, but it just involves us like being hopelessly not trying to fall asleep because we're all too old to stay up
Yeah,
really late.
yeah.
And mine was just me playing PlayStation on my in my underwear. So I guess that's
We all have different ways of celebrating, Jeps, and
yeah, I know.
you do you.
Yeah, man, that was the best, bro. Like just by myself, and my wife is on the other room. So yep, that's the best thing that happened to me this year. Being left alone,
There's nothing a married man wants more than just
just being left
beautiful
alone.
separate rooms.
Separate room. That's the best gift that you could ever give someone that you really, that you're with forever. All right. uh,
Did you
Michael.
did you get? I'll just maybe like let's round off the birthday questions. Is there
Yeah.
like a thing that you kind of was looking forward to doing? Is there like a goal that you want to reach before you like reach some kind of milestone? Like I know some people will be like, oh, I want to travel to specific places before I'm 50, or I want to,
Yeah.
I want to do something with my career by this time. Do you have, do you have something similar in your timeline, or is it just more of like whatever happens, happens?
Well, I've been always that kind of guy, you know. I take one day at a time. I like to live in the moment. Um, but ang kapal naman ng mukha ko, guys, if I have something to complain about my life. I've been very blessed.
Oh,
I can't complain. I've been very blessed. My parents gave me a good education. I've been pretty successful at everything that I've done, and that's because of hard work. That's because of what my parents taught me. Just work hard, and hard work always pays off. So, I guess the last thing I'd like to tick off my bucket list would be to become a pro golfer. I've been working hard on that. It's kind of hard to do if you start at this late in uh, this late in life. The pros are getting younger and younger. I think there are pros
Mhm.
now competing with the PGA that are 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just crazy, but it's something that I love doing now. Like I said, on my birthday, that's what I did: kicked my friends out and played golf. Um, so I told myself, if I can, I'll give myself until I'm 48, between 48 and 50, to try and chase that goal. Even if it's just in the Asian circuit, that's something I'd like to try.
That's
yeah, man,
that's really cool, man. That's really cool.
that is
I
cool.
guess.
I gotta retire from the physical sports like basketball, frisbee. I was playing semi-professional basketball just before the pandemic for Tanduay, Batangas,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yeah, okay, recovery is not that fast anymore, you know.
It's catching up to you. The years is gonna catch up to you
Oh
every
Is
year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is
Mileage.
what attracted you most to golf? Is it
To
the
golf, yeah.
non-physical aspect of it, or is it more of like the
It's more of like I've been used to competing. I play rugby, I play water polo, I play frisbee, I play basketball, I play soccer. They're all the physical sports. So I fell in love with golf because it's really just a mental game. And if you put in the work, everybody can become good at golf. But the thing with golf is you go out and compete against guys who can hit the ball just as good as you. So it's mental toughness, you
Hmm.
know, not being intimidated by their shots, and you have no one else to blame but yourself. And that's what I liked about the sport. And uh, for me, it's actually the toughest sport that I've ever competed in.
wow.
Yeah, right.
Well, I
Like
mean that's really strong words coming from someone who played semi-professional basketball. Because like
yeah, and
yeah,
rugby
in
and
rugby and
ultimate
all the
frisbee.
sports, I've never heard anybody like I never even heard pro golfers talk about golf that way. But everybody seems to be very passionate about it. If you meet somebody who's not really like a fan of golf, who thinks it's kind of this pretentious sport that only rich people play, how would you turn them around?
Um, it's the game has changed tremendously. They've actually tweaked a few things to make the sport a little bit more attractive to just
Mhm.
the regular kind of guy or girl. In the States, they've opened up golf courses where you don't need to really wear the collared shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have that, the rules of golf, the etiquette of golf, but they're trying to make it more appealing to the younger generation. And you can even see from the different pros now, they're all jacked. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah. I
all
see. Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's just grip it and rip it. These guys are hitting the ball 400 yards. It's nuts. But
Jesus.
what I say to people is, if you go out there, just try and take a swing, see how difficult it is. But if you hit one pure sweet shot, it's over. You're hooked. You are
Oh, I get it.
definitely hooked.
I get it.
And another way to get the boys into it is just like, hey, check out the IG pages of these hot golfers. Their nice golf outfits.
That's it. That's it.
They're on the golf course all the time. I'm sure they'll be there. They'll be out there on the golf course.
You mentioned about like is it starting out a little bit late. Well, we think that some of us right now can't really relate to that because we've seen like an episode or we've seen a person do stand-up comedy when he's already retired. He's 65 years old. Like a friend of ours, you guys, yeah, I'm talking about Doc Ramon Cabuchan. He's 65. So apparently there's really not like an age limit into everything because he started out
Yeah.
like what, like a few years ago. He's now a feature. He's one of the funniest person, and pretty dark too. So
Awesome.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess like
yeah, you should never give up on your goals and your dreams.
dreams. Yeah,
I strongly believe that. I was just, you can't put too much on your plate. And when I was
yeah.
competing for frisbee and all of that, there's no time to go play golf. Training with the national team, taking care of your body. It actually, one sport can affect the other, with timing and frisbee is all flick of the wrist, and in golf you can't flick your wrists. So yeah, so I had to make sacrifices. So at the time, I was
Hmm.
really focused on playing for the national team. And then I was like, I think I'm done here, and picked up the sticks. I picked up the sticks when I was young to play with my dad, but I
Mhm.
was really more into the physical sports. And then when I picked up the sticks a few years ago, I was just hooked, and the rest is history. I competed in the Jack Nicklaus over here with my good friend John Estrada. We won. We represented the Philippines and played in Cleveland, Ohio, in Jack
Nice.
Nicklaus's tournament there,
Nice.
and we won in the U.S. and we
Wow.
got to meet the greatest of all time, um, Jack Nicklaus. He awarded us. We were awarded in the Jack Nicklaus Museum in Ohio, and yeah, we just got to meet, fanboy, the greatest of all time, Jack Nicklaus, and it's proud for us to say that our names are now engraved on that trophy that sits in the Jack Nicklaus Museum
That is
forever.
so
So it's
cool.
pretty cool.
That is
I
so
mean, even
cool.
though that's an amateur level, it's still, I love competition, and it was nice to compete against the other winners from different parts of the globe.
Wow.
It's a
That is a
combination.
that is one of those like stories that you kind of hear, and it sort of makes you rethink that a lot of people sort of tell people off like, oh, you can't chase this dream of yours because
Dream,
it's
yeah,
too late in your life already, or it's
yeah.
and they just like, no, no, just watch this live stream I did with Derek Ramsay. He'll turn you around. He'll turn you around.
Hey,
Anything
man,
possible.
keep chasing your dreams, even if you don't get there. At least you tried. It
Yep.
would
Yeah.
suck if you just sit at home and just live your life with a what if, right? So
I think that's
chase
basically
your
how
dreams.
we all started with our stand up journeys. It's just like one day in our lives we just realized, oh my god, I'm stuck in this 9 to 5 work right now, and what if I get hit by a truck tomorrow? Will I be do?
Correct,
Am I
correct.
doing this the thing that I really love? Would I
Yeah.
be regretting most of my life if, wow, I am turning this thing into something heavy? So take it away, Mike. So before I cry buckets of tears and talk about my journey again, Mike, go ahead.
No, I think we've gotten to the halfway point. I think we can probably start talking about, you're talking about the things that you love, and it seems like a bulk of your career has been in front of the camera,
Camera, yeah.
creating a lot of movies. And I did mention this before we started the show. We wanted to like really sort of just understand like your ideas whenever you're given like a role, and it's the roles whenever you get them. Do you feel like they're written with you in mind, or do you also feel like, okay, I can infuse a bit of character and I could change how this character is portrayed whenever you play these roles in your movies?
I won't lie to you boys. A lot in the Philippine industry, parang they write certain films or come up with certain characters based already on the actor that they have in mind,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is something that it should be changed actually.
Thank
Um,
you. Yay! I'm a writer, by the way. I'm a writer for film, so thank you,
you know,
Derek.
no, yeah, and with respect to the writers, the writer comes up with this character, and you should have different actors audition for it and see who can actually bring that, that character to life that's in the
Mm-hmm.
mind of the writer and the director. Um, Hindi dapat yung binabagayan lang eh, 'di ba?
Tama.
Yeah.
But every time I get given this character, I always want to put something different. So I shut myself down. And I think we mentioned this, Jen, in our interview before. It's like even with bed scenes, they're the most difficult to do. But guys always ask me, Derek, how do you control yourself? And I'm like, well, because when I'm doing it, I'm not Derek. I'm shutting myself down. I completely, for the respect of my uh, co-actor, I shut myself down and finish the scene. Bigay mo na ng todo para one take lang. But
Yeah.
the way I prepare for these different characters is that I always review my last character. I always watch my last movie and to make sure that I don't give the same attack or the same mannerisms um, to the character that I'm going to bring to life. And it's kind of hard because yun nga, they write, sometimes they write or they make characters na dapat bagayan sa artista. And I know that there have been a majority of my movies have been written with me in mind already.
Okay,
But
let's
yeah,
go a bit on the hypothetical here. Now, suppose there's a existing Hollywood movie that they want to reshoot or remake in the Philippines. Like, which movie and which role would you choose that you would be like first in line to audition for if ever it was remade here?
Oh man. Wow. Like I love war movies, so
Oh no! Wow.
I'd love to be a part of like Saving Private Ryan or um, Black Hawk Down, something that's
Damn.
wala
Got
nang
any particular
gwapuhan. It's more
character
of just
in
getting
mind?
down,
Oh yeah.
and dirty. One of my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. I love
Mm.
those smart films. I just it's something I wish that I really wish that I could take part of. I was really excited that supposedly for this year I was supposed to be in a foreign film with Sam Worthington, and it was a police film.
Mm.
We're friends. He's a policeman from Australia, and I'm a policeman from the Philippines. I was really excited to get my hands on that character, but unfortunately, COVID happened, so they moved
Mhm.
it back. So I don't know
yeah.
where we're going with that film, but a specific uh, film. Ooh, I'd love to. I wish I could have been part of Narcos and been one of those bad guys that just shoot everybody. Plata o plomo, pendejo. You know,
Yeah, I was about to ask if you could do like a Spanish accent at least, a Mexican accent.
yeah, yeah. I could get away with that. The closest thing I did to something like that was um, it was for Netflix too, and TV5. That was Amo under Direk Brillante Mendoza.
Yeah, yeah, Brilliant
And he
Mendoza.
was shocked that I accepted a role that was so dark, corrupt. I purposely lost weight to play the role. I lost a lot of weight. I lost like 25 pounds to look like I'm some addict policeman that just goes around and shoots everybody and does whatever he wants, So that's one of the favorite roles that I actually played. And it wasn't the matinee idol thing. It wasn't the boy next door thing. It was just
Yeah,
me getting down and dirty.
That is a very common thing I've noticed. A lot of actors say this thing. They say it's not fun to be the good guy. If you be the bad guy, that's like the best. It's so freeing to just be
It's
like,
a lot. It's a lot more challenging,
it is a lot more challenging. Yeah, like
and there's so much more you can do with the bad guy.
is
You
like,
don't want. You don't have to make people like you.
oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
want to piss people off. not that I enjoy pissing people off.
it's for the
okay.
craft.
We're not gonna
As an
judge.
actor, you can just become more. You can just go crazy with it. You can just do whatever
Dude.
you want.
Dude, I can imagine you just like in Apocalypse Now and doing the Brando thing, like in the middle of
Oh,
the
yeah.
forest. Have you seen Apocalypse Now? Right?
Yeah,
In the Heart of Darkness, when they first see each other, like he was on the boat and then Marlon Brando was just there with the tribesmen.
Yeah.
He was already like
Yeah.
unhinged. Dude,
Yeah.
you'd probably kill it in that film if it's going to be remade.
We did
And
use
yeah,
more movies, right?
you-
In the Philippines, I think.
Yeah, dude. You also mentioned like with the things being written like here in the Philippines. Yeah, I have written a few films like that. And but sometimes as writers we tend to it would be deliberate sometimes. Like I would think of yeah, this will be perfect for this guy to star in. But yeah, most of the time it's the studio's decision. But yeah, you know how it is. um if you are going to write this, if you're going to write your own screenplay, do you have any concepts or a story that you would like to pitch for yourself, if ever?
Well, can I answer it by something that I don't want to be pitched to me, which is two girls fighting over a guy anymore. I think that's.
Yeah, I think that was like a
Thank
face
you.
in cinema.
I think Jeff, we've been there, done that. Let's move
Yeah.
on. No more adultery and all of that. It's. I mean,
I have a follow-up question there. How does it feel, Derek, that a lot of people, a lot of men have been hurt by their significant others while watching some of your films? Ginagawa mo rin siguro sa akin yan. No? Tarantado ka talaga.
I know. No other woman. I tried to leave some tips in my films, diba? Like putting a lock code on your phone. Make sure she doesn't know your password. Yeah,
So
I
you-
heard a lot of couples got into fights after No Other Woman.
Yeah.
The reason it's really, really, really funny. Every time you bring something up, it's always something that we're gonna ask you about that. Because I'm like, full disclosure here. I did a joke where you were the subject of the joke. Because I said, does Derek Ramsay, like a lot of people, like, okay, this is my story. My story is I'm really poor and I have to rob this bank to feed my family. So, oh, that's relatable. And then you like go, hey guys, these two girls are fighting over me. They're really hot. They're fighting over me. Is this relatable? And like, no, it's not. That's not happening to any of us. Oh, it's not? I'm going to make 3 movies about that. And then but you basically answered that question by saying, if you kind of sit down and think about it, you'd be like, which actor in their right mind would be like, no, please typecast me in these roles because I don't want to. I just want to be known as that guy. But it makes sense if they have an idea and they're like, okay, here you go. And then is it always when you get these roles and you're like, okay, do you always think yourself, okay, it feels like it's the same guy again? Do you always feel like, how do I portray this guy? Is your goal
Definitely.
again, do I make this guy likable or do I make this guy a douchebag so that I discourage men from doing this? What's the approach there?
Well, it all started with No Other Woman, right?
Yeah.
I think at 2011, Philippine cinema was in its one of its lows, and I remember we were going up against Transformers at the time,
Oh.
and there was a really bad typhoon. It's like everything is working against us. We got Transformers, our premiere night. We got hit by a big typhoon, and we weren't. The premiere was canceled, but then it took off, and we beat actually Transformers in the box office here. So
Nice.
we were so proud of that and everything. So my next following movie was same feel. It was called Secret Affair. Uh, you know, that was at the young stages of my career. So after that, it was another one, and then I realized, okay, look, parang ako na lang lagi is playing this guy. That's, but yeah, I did. I was approached and pitched a few more movies that had the same feel, and I'd always tell them, guys, this has the same feel as Let's Go Back to the Original, No Other Woman. Um, and I go, I'm tired of doing things like that. But then they're like, okay, so let's see how we can work on this to make it a little different. And I was at the stage of my career where they could hear my voice, and they gave me more freedom
Mhm.
to, you know, change the character and bring the character to life in different ways. And that's what I did with uh, the movies that followed. Again, like I said earlier, I go back and watch my other films, see what I did there, and make sure that I don't use the same techniques or use the same mannerisms with the character I'm going to bring to life in uh, the the project that I'm doing. So it's really difficult, especially when the theme is the same. It really is. Sometimes I'll make the guy more of a douchebag. Yeah, like ay gago talaga tong guy na to, playboy. Um, but I like making it the hey, it's not just the guy's fault.
Yeah.
That's the
Mm.
hard one because girls always will blame the guys, right? And for
Yeah.
me, I want to make it na the girls will be like, ay hindi, kawawa naman rin siya. It's not just his fault.
Yeah.
So
It's not gonna be one
um,
dimensional, right? Right.
tama, and that's the tough part. That's the tough part. Um, so yeah, it's not easy. It's actually it's very very difficult.
All right. Aside from like some aside from Mac and Cheese, I haven't seen you in a lot of comedies. Um,
Actually,
would you accept like a
I won
mm,
best actor for a my first best actor was for a comedy.
which one was it?
English only, please.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
played
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
I
like
played a role of it was like funny because it was like Derek back in 2002 with regards to speaking our language.
ah
And so I was like, okay, I have to go back to me to back in 2002, 2001, where yung kalookan ko was kalukan. And I found it so much fun to be able to just um, play around with that character. There are lots of ad lib actually that uh, happened there, like Chickanini. It just it just came out. It was so much fun, and yeah, that's when I won my best actor. They said it was really uh, they saw a different side of me, and that's what I've been wanting for so long is to show that I want to show my versatility as an actor, not just this guy who you
okay,
know.
so yeah, we just got here because I am pitching for a project right now. I'm just kidding.
No,
I
no,
just turned this
bad
to
Jeps, bad Jeps.
no, 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 no. But yeah, because I wanted to see you like in an irreverent style comedy, like more of like Zoolander, like as in
Oh
like,
man,
do you see yourself
Derek
like that?
Zoolander. I could do that. I could definitely do
And I
that.
definitely would watch that. Watch the hell out
Oh
of that.
man. I would love to do something like that.
Because you seem
Or
like a guy
actually,
who doesn't
my
take
dream
himself
is
like
also to
that
do like
seriously.
a hangover, but Asian style,
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
right?
yeah. We
You
need more
and
of those.
Jake Cuenca, like those other serious actors, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then put
yeah,
them like,
yeah.
and then Jelson Bay as like, or like an ensemble cast. All right, I'm already like dreaming
At
right
some
now.
point, Ping Medina will appear for some reason. Like that's
Hey, he's my
We can
friend. I'll
have
call him
we can
Ping.
have Empoy playing Mr. Chow.
yeah, I
Here,
can.
here's
Yeah,
here's my pitch. Here's my pitch for that movie. Here's the movie. The movie is like The Hangover, but it's actually four brothers, and it's your father getting remarried again, and your father is missing. You're looking for your father. So
That's
that's
awesome.
Mm,
the story. That's the story. I think that
all
that
right.
That's
that would be
awesome.
really fun. That would be really fun.
I am going to steal that mic. I don't have any projects anymore. I'm going to
Go
steal
ahead.
that.
Go ahead. As long as I get invited to the premiere, Jeff, you can
and
steal
No,
away.
you're not
as
gonna
long as
get it.
Ping Medina is there, as long as Ping Medina.
Hey, dude, yeah, it could happen. Ping is a friend, man. So
All right, make it happen,
Oh,
mate.
let's do it.
All right.
just one
Um,
studio, right? Maybe Regal will produce it. Last Christmas. Hold on. All right. Before we
Jeff,
get into over our heads here, Mike, do you have any?
Oh,
Uh,
it feels like I'm hogging a lot of the questions.
all right.
Jethro, maybe
I,
maybe you want to jump in or something.
I know, like
Jethro.
Derek, you're expecting like the smartest questions here because that was what my pitch to you was. But I have something to ask. Like,
Hey man,
you
I'm
mentioned
really
no other.
enjoying this. It's not your regular.
You mentioned no other woman, and I watched that movie in the theater, and there was a scene there with Christine Reyes, you and Christine, in the beach. Do you still remember that? Because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that particular scene, you were supposed to be making love in the beach, and to be honest, you two did not look like you were enjoying it all that much. And and in my head, I was thinking like, if these two people who are currently the most attractive people in the showbiz industry right now can't seem to enjoy, making love in the beach, I don't think making love in the beach is all that fun
No,
at all.
correction. It was with Ann Curtis.
Well, was it okay? It was with Ann
Yes.
Curtis then. So,
Okay. So there's a story with that. Ann and I, we've done so many movies together, and we're really comfortable with, even with the bed scenes. We were practically naked
Jet
already.
Echo.
But it was so difficult because we were shooting by the shore, and I was not wearing the most comfortable thing. I was wearing Spanx,
Oh,
just skin tone Spanx. And Spanx, when they get wet, they rip. And Anne and I are supposed to be making love by the shore, and the waves are coming in, and we're making out. We're doing the scene. There's voice cues from the director. It was in the evening, so we had these huge lights, and at the time, it wasn't LED lights. They're just these big, massive lights that they burn your skin. And we're drinking so much salt water because we're just getting hit by the waves, and that's why it was so difficult. And because the waves were so strong, my Spanx ripped open. And I remember Direct telling the camera to pan, 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 pan towards my butt. And when it reached my butt, sumigaw yung director, ay, puwet, puwet, puwet! Hawakan mo an! Hawakan mo an! Hawakan mo an! Nawala na yung Spanx ko. Hawakan mo an! That's why if you get to watch No Other Woman director's cut, it's in the director's cut.
oh, okay.
okay. It might be on Netflix soon.
You just drove up the sales for director's cut 300%.
300%.
Derek Ramsay's butt cheeks now starring director's cut. Come on, guys.
Thirst trap.
I
Yeah,
knew there was a
that
story
was a really
behind that.
difficult. That was a really difficult scene. It was just, yeah, the weather wasn't cooperating too, so it was really difficult to do.
If I could just be honest with you, Derek, it does look like a difficult scene because it was showing in
Yeah,
your faces. That
yeah,
was what
yeah,
I was watching. That was what I was thinking when I was watching it. Like, dude, these two people, they're not having a fun time. The
yeah,
sound
yeah,
they make it sound like they're having a fun time. It's not a fun time. So and that,
yeah.
that was the one thing. If anything, there was one takeaway from that movie is that never ever make love by the beach.
By the
There's
beach,
strong
right?
That was
winds.
your one takeaway. That was your one takeaway from no other woman.
I am not very good at these things, so that
He's not good at context clues. So.
Jet, bumawi naman kami when we did it on her bed.
yeah.
That's good.
No sand, no waves, no spanks. So good on you
Yeah,
guys.
no spanks.
Hindi yung ba napanood, Jet, yung Star Wars? Sand. It gets everywhere, you know.
Like I believe Derek more than the Star Wars claim because that one I saw for myself and
That sucks. Yeah.
the reaction of the people like by making love it looked like this. So okay.
Man, we were like kissing each other and it's like salt. We're like, oh, okay.
At some point, did you want to like kill the whoever scriptwriter thought about that scene? Like,
I'm like,
Come
why
on,
can't we just move
Jethro.
up a little bit? You know, let's move up a little. And imagine she's on her back, and it's just all stones, and it's just it's so hard.
because
It's
you
really
can
hard.
see the bodies like get hit by the waves and they're like moving
Yeah.
towards the shore and like they're scraping the sand and whatever is
Oh
underneath.
my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
And-
Ants a
And
Trooper.
we were shooting that at like 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Okay, that's gonna make it really hard.
That's that's really that's what happens when you shoot, and then that's what if it involves nature, you bet your ass it's not gonna happen the way you plan it all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In the head
There-
of the scriptwriter, probably it's like the most romantic thing. Oh, okay.
Why are you pointing
point.
at me? The guy
They're
who
gonna
wrote
make
like
love at the beach. Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. Like it's what we're imagining it, and then
yeah.
when they translate, like no, they're not gonna have fun. They're not having fun. Okay.
No,
We have
no.
like a discussion on the Filipino Screenwriters Guild right now. If what about like we wrote stuff that are really not shootable and stuff. Diba? I was just talking about you guys. Like I wrote like the first time that I wrote a film, I wrote something like pababa ang araw habang nakatingin siya sabay salamin. And then like nabasa siya ng producer. Oh, so kokontrolin namin araw. But take note to, crowd ha. Yung DOP, the director of photography was looking at me like, oh man, gago ka. So I just like put a big X on that scene. Okay, deletable po yung scene na yan, ma'am. Deletable. I just X'd it out. All right.
I'll try to wrap things up now already. We've been doing this for about almost an hour. I have about 3 more things just to ask you, Derek. Hopefully it will not take long. There's just one thing. We'll just talk about your acting and then we'll do some other random stuff. Our friend here, because I think for all the roles that you've done, and there are a lot, and you'll probably be very well known for all these roles. There's one particular role that kind of transcends all of them. It's a role that I think, for better or for worse, it's where people remember you most. And our fellow comedian Chino Liao, sort of encompasses it when he says, "My favorite Derek Ramsay role is when he stepped on a tomato to stop him."
He beat us to it.
Mag-ingat
this-
ka, pulis ako.
Yes. We got the sound clip, guys. We got the
Yes,
sound
we
clip.
got the sound clip.
Hey man, pare, if you haven't made it unless you've become a meme.
Oh my god, exactly. So I was going to talk about that.
Exactly.
It's kind of those things like everybody has their like, this is my mark. I did this, I did this, I did this, but are you a meme? Are you a meme? And people say a line and then automatically know what they're talking about. And
Yep.
that's what you did. Did you think that was going to happen when you made that ad?
The PSA.
No, kasi wala naman talaga akong tinapakan na kamatis eh. It was the girl chasing me behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Ramsay correcting, setting things on record. Wala siyang tinapakan na kamatis.
Kamatis, guys.
Oo. Nalagpasan ko na yung pagbagsak ng kamatis, yung partner ko yung nakatapak sa kamatis. At doon mo na malalaman kung late ka na sa pelikula pag natapakan na yung kamatis.
Right. Oh, that's fair point. Okay. It's one of those. It's. I remember when I was still watching movies back in Manila. It was always that thing of like something would feel like off. What's off? What's happening? What's wrong? My popcorn, my Coke. Yun! Fuck, yung ad, yung anti-piracy ad. Okay, there you go. Alright, okay. Parang may kulang eh. And then that thing plays. And
To be fair, it's better than the R18 sana.
Yeah, I
That
actually
was
like
awkward.
the kamatis ad better than that
Yeah,
one.
man. It went into
Diba?
like the ether.
what
Oh
was
man,
the
pare pulis ako, naging mais ako. Lahat. Ang dami, may picture ng mais tapos yung isa mukha ako. Pare, mais.
Actually, one of my posts in Reddit went viral for that particular scene because I remember there was a discussion on what was your like most memorable moment and when you got married, and then I talked about how my wife and I were like trying to confess about things, and then I confessed to her that I went to a beer house without telling her, and then it was her turn to ask her what's your most deepest confession, and then she approached me, and then she tapped me on my shoulder and like, here's my deepest secret. Pare, police ako. And then she turned into Derek Ramsay, and then she chased me, and then the kamatis fell, and then I got trapped in the corner. Guys, don't do piracy. And that went viral, man. So I was just trying to thank you for that one.
Dumb
Man,
stuff.
I got kids coming up to me when I'm walking around the mall or wherever they see me, and they're like, "Hey, Derek, is it too much to ask? But can I just video you saying "Pare, police ako," and the reactions I get? And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, man. Let's do it. Pare, police ako." Yeah,
We should do the Bart Simpson like meme format. Like say the
yeah,
line
yeah.
and then it's here like and then Derek's in the middle.
your face?
Pare pulis ako.
Police ako.
I'm surprised they didn't make a song about it. You know, they should
I
have
think
made
it
a
was
song about it.
yeah, like a remix of of
Diba?
Pare pulis ako in budots so you can hear it in jeepneys.
It's so I mean it's just such a weird thing that kind of took off. It was not really meant to be taken
To be
seriously,
taken
and the
seriously.
people just looked at it and just this seems like this seems a little bit over the top. But I think that was they were going for like the seriousness of what it was. But it unfortunately fell onto your hands because if it was just a bunch of just random actors playing the role, they'd be like, okay, it's kind of a weird ad. But when all of a sudden you see Derek Ramsay and you be like, whoa, is this the movie? Am I watching the movie?
You know, may habulan sa mall, down the
Somewhere.
escalator. Yeah.
Somebody lost their popcorn that day. That was very
Yeah.
sad.
Of course, that was your priority, right? That was what
Yeah,
your
that was,
Yeah, the
fuck
fat man
Kamatis,
looking at
fuck Kamatis, man. Fuck Kamatis. I was excited for the popcorn.
You know what? We can do an action for anti-piracy, but we can't do action movies for like a full-length film. We should be able to do a full-length film filled with
yeah.
action. Bring
Yeah.
back action.
Actually, that's a fair point. I think it was just because you didn't expect that level of production for somebody talking about because anti-price is always like it's a message and then this is it.
Mhm.
But yours was
Yeah,
like
it
it's
could have
a
been like
full-
just a talking head.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. I did that. I wasn't paid for that. I enjoyed shooting that. Um, and we have to pitch in and do what we can do to help Philippine cinema. And one of the biggest problems is piracy. So I was like, yeah, count me on board. And I saw uh, what we were going to do for the day, and I was like, oh, this is fun. This is going to be fun. And yeah, we finished that in about 4 or 5 hours, I think.
wow.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty fast.
So-
It's one of my unironic things I love to watch because it's just it also feels makes me feel very like secure, like okay, everything is happening in the world. If I see this ad, everything is still kind of normal. Derek Ramsey is still chasing people with a gun because they're recording a video. Like you're not supposed to do that shit. Like yeah, okay, this
Oh,
is
dude,
Right.
We actually did a part 2
Oh,
for
really?
Mega World, for the Mega World cinemas, where I catch boys' night out. So I'm like, "Pare, pulis ako," and I bring them to the precinct and arrest one of the boys' night out because he brought out his cell phone, and we thought that he was recording the film. So that was funny too.
You know what would be nice, dude? Like to see that again in an actual theater. that
Yeah.
signals that that's the end of this thing that's happening right now, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like everything's
Yeah.
back to normal. You see like pare pulis ako at the theaters right now. Oh my god, we're back. We're online again. We're not in the
Yeah.
Matrix anymore. So
But I'm running with a
uh
mask this time.
yeah, running with the new
Updated.
normal protocol. I have a question, Derek. Are you a Choco Waco guy or are you a Choco Butternut guy? Asking for a friend.
Oh man. That's a tough question, but I do love chocolate, so I'll go with the Choco Waco because there's more chocolate.
Israel won that. Yep. Our fat friend.
He's
Also
not just a
very
fat
good comedian.
donut guy, man.
He's a donut guy. I remember him like we went to Baguio. This guy is so addicted to Choco Waco. Like he never stopped. He asked me to he kept on saying, alam mo pare ko ano masarap ngayon siguro, no? Lamig dito ngayon sa Baguio, no? Sarap siguro ng Choco Waco. He went on from the time we went there like around 8 p.m. hanggang alas 12 ng madaling araw pagkatapos namin uminom. Pare, lasing tayo, no? Ano masarap kaya? Choco ako siguro. Punta tayo Choco. Tayo na si Israel, man. But yeah, so Choco
Hey,
ako,
man,
guys, it's
the Choco
official.
Waco is really good. My favorite's Boston Cream, but
Hey.
Choco Waco is one of my favorites too. Boston Cream for the win.
I look. I am very disappointed that Derek would choose Choco Waco over Choco Butternut. You know what they say: never meet your heroes. You'll just get disappointed.
Hey, Choco Butternut is like the favorite of everyone in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
It's everybody's favorite. I mean, I like it. I love it, but have you tried Choco Waco?
I do.
It's
I
the
do.
bomb,
I
man.
do.
It's the bomb.
It's basic. It's my no other woman. Okay, this Choco Butternut is my wife. It's my no other woman.
As long as you have a beach scene with those donuts, yeah, fine.
But
Okay,
dude, kasi yung Choco Butternut is childhood. It's nostalgic.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I
why
think
we
so.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is such a great question to ask because this is like how I'm winding it down because this I saw this from an interview of yours, Derek, and somebody asked you, I think it was a friend of yours, what foods you would eat for every day, and you said donuts and sinigang na baboy.
Yeah, man.
And
I, I,
I
I
want-
that's why Duncan got me because they read like in an interview that I had when I was in college in the US. I would study in the Dunkin' Donuts that was just right beside our college, and I was going to school in Boston. So Dunkin's from the East Coast, right? And we found out that the donuts would be thrown out into the garbage at 12 midnight. So here are some Filipino students working on a budget. Like, hey man, let's go over there, let's befriend them, buy a coffee, and we get unlimited donuts. So we would be there and just take the donuts. And when I'd watch a movie, I could eat a dozen donuts straight, and no one believes me. But I said all of these things in an interview, and then they came out and reached out and said, "Hey, we want to get you as our endorser." And I was like, "Oh man, this is like heaven to me." And if you talk to any of the guys from my Duncan family, when we do the commercials, I eat the donuts, not eat and spit it out. I actually just,
So
you
you
know,
wolf him down, man.
that's okay. That's first of all, as a fat person to hear that you don't spit out the note. That is perfect, man. You have to respect the D. Respect the D. Is a I have a question. What is your stance? Would you rather have a dozen donuts, or would you have a box of 100 munchkins?
I'm old school. I like the round donut, the classic
Mm.
way. It's just different. Munchkins are great, but for me, parang bitin eh. That
That's why there's 100. That's why there's a
yeah, pero like each bite bitin eh, parang bitin. When you bite a donut, iba talaga eh.
That's fair. Okay.
That's fair.
You're talking
You know how
about
lucky I am? They made me a special donut for my birthday. It's a combination of my two favorite donuts, well, three favorite donuts: Boston cream, Bavarian, and strawberry filled. So they gave me this hybrid of a donut. It was a Boston cream with the Bavarian and the strawberry inside. and then a little frosting of kidlat on top because I was shooting
Uh-huh.
the superhero kidlat back
Yeah,
then.
Yeah, yeah.
And I tell you, that donut was just orgasmic. It was so
Damn,
good.
dude.
They should have
how,
brought that out.
how you were able to determine all the flavors? If they're like that's all like Bavarian and Boston cream inside and strawberry. How did
It just
those
explodes in your mouth. Like
how
the when when you take a bite, you get the chocolate first, and then you get the sweetness of the strawberry, and then that texture. I love the texture of Bavarian, and it's just wow,
wow.
love it.
Okay. All right.
Mike is convinced.
I'm
I
hungry
am.
now.
I see his
Mhm.
mouth watering now. So
I mean, I mean, I've been mouth watering since this interview started. So let's not talk about it.
wait, what? Because I remember there was one print ad for Dunkin' Donuts where you were there and you were posing beside a bunch of choco butternut munchkins. And you did mention that you did like the munchkins as much as the regular donuts because, and that kind of plays into that ad now. Because I remember that ad had the munchkins with a bite in it. All of the munchkins had a single bite. And then
Yeah.
somebody commented, like, if the
Bakit may
butter
kagat?
is so good, bakit kinagatan lang niya? Tapos,
Oh,
you saw that one? Yeah, that was freaking hilarious, man.
yeah. Actually, Duncan had to address that.
What kind of animal would bite at the munchkin and then return it in the box?
Listen, sorry.
Oh,
So
man.
you talking about you were a fan of donuts, tapos
Yeah.
naging sponsor ka ng donuts. So nilapitan ka na ba ng ng Nor or ng Maggie para sa sinigang na mix nila? Has anyone?
Have you manifested it
I
enough?
don't know. I don't know how I would endorse that, but I did. I did endorse Datu Puti with Elizabeth Ramsay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
I know.
alright.
Siya
By
yung mukha
association.
team, ako yung muk sarap.
I remember that.
I love ad people.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Okay.
man, like sinigang na baboy is one of my favorite dishes. I just, I have that at least till now, twice a week. So kailangan I have that twice a week here in the house.
So, endorsers, if you guys can hear that, Sinigang na Baboy, beach scene with Derek and Sinigang. I don't know how it works. Make it work.
Hindi nakaiga si Derek sa beach. Tapos may sound. Tapos pag nag-pan up, he's just eating the soup on the beach. He's just slurping it down. That's how it would probably look like.
May nakasabit na kangkong.
Dito sa pangipin.
That's not gonna
I
be.
like it.
That's not gonna be sexy. That's not gonna fly.
It's not supposed to be, but it's Sinigang, man.
But have you seen like the ads right now? They're getting pretty absurd. So it might happen. Like the
Yeah.
RC commercial, that's
I'm
they
sure.
went viral.
Basta, Derek, you're fine. Basta wala kang baso sa likuran, you're fine. You're fine. Wala.
Or
Whatever
pwede
you
kang gamitin ko yung natapakan na kamatis para sa sinigang ko.
There you go. Some commercials write themselves. That's just so awesome.
Jetro is
last
also
thing-
like, I think si Jetro naglalaway na sa sinigang. Walang sinigang sa Minnesota, oy.
Meron. May mix ako dyan sa pantry. Ano ba?
Sa bagay.
I went to the US. I didn't bring any food, but I made sure that I had the roll of sinigang mix with me. Just in case anything happened and there was no mix here, I brought a 2-year supply with me.
Oh wow, man! When I was in college, like my diet was the worst diet. I'd ask my parents to bring me Lucky Me pancit canton, and they didn't have the chili mansi and all of that back then. It was just the yellow one,
Yeah,
the
yellow one, yeah.
original. And me and my roommates, talagang taguan ng pancit canton under our beds. Talagang, it's like, ooh, and that's the same thing with Century Tuna. We all had that Century Tuna. They reached out to me because we would fight over Century Tuna. Those were the things that we would keep, and where we were, there were no Filipino restaurants yet in Boston. So
Okay.
yun talaga yung ano namin of home is, Mom, if you're coming
Ooh.
here, you gotta bring me boxes of pancit canton.
So Boston, were you there during the boom of the comedy scene in Boston? Are you a fan
I
of
was
any
there
of the
during
comedians
the-
from
during the-
Boston?
During the big dig and when the Celtics sucked.
Timing. Yeah.
You know, it was bad for me. I love basketball, but I wouldn't watch them because they suck so bad. That was like the days of their highest paid player was Walker. What's his name?
Antoine
The guy
Walker.
who does the, yeah, and he wasn't so good. So yeah, we sucked.
I remember I used to look at him and go like, he's the one. He's okay.
He's
I
an
guess
all-star. He's the franchise player,
he's also
and he got paid. He got paid
What?
so much.
why. Also, why is he on the cover of NBA 2K this year? Why is it him?
Yeah,
He's the guy.
exactly.
No one else.
Yeah,
I know.
nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I'll one last thing I'll ask is you mentioned that if you were not an actor, you would be a teacher.
Mm,
Could
yeah.
you like talk about that because that's kind of it's sort of very we haven't really seen at like a teaching side of you or like a mentorship kind of role. What attracts you to this concept of like specifically you said teaching kids. So what do you like so much about teaching kids?
I'm very good with kids, and I've had a lot of people say that to me. And when I was playing frisbee, I was the one teaching a lot of these kids, the basics of how to play the sport, but more on mental toughness and about putting in hard work. Some people are blessed with talent to just be able to naturally play a given sport or to be, just naturally good at things. And there are kids who are born that find it more difficult. But at the end of the day, if you put in hard work, if you're mentally tough, you're going to be successful. And a lot of these kids that I taught, they all came up to me and they said, you should be a teacher. I think you do well just being a teacher. And I support Gabay Guro. And, your teachers are like your second parents. And it's sad to say that, they should get more props
Yeah,
for what they do. They should definitely be
sure.
paid more. They should be respected more.
Mhm.
And that's why I really go out and support teachers. So yeah, I think if I wasn't an actor, I'd definitely be, teaching maybe history, math, because I took up math as my major in the UK, um, which was my weakest subject in high school. And my dad has a sense of humor, so when I went to do my A levels, he's like, "Okay, you're gonna do math." I'm like, "Oh God," and I learned to love it, because of hard work. And I put in the work, and I was like, "Wow, this is actually pretty easy." And then ended up enjoying it. Um, so yeah, definitely I'd be a teacher if I wasn't an actor.
That's really cool to hear that there are this like movements or these advocacies that you're very passionate about, and it's really important that teachers get some kind of more traction and more voice from people like you. I definitely agree with that. I've in my career 'cause I work in IT as well, and in my earlier career when I was in between jobs, I would teach college on the weekends, and just teaching is just gives you a really different perspective because you don't really you like teach the kids, but you also get to know about their lives, and it's so illuminating to see that, and it really hammers home that thing you said about being the second parents.
Yeah,
It's
and then a
it's
sarap
such
ng
a,
feeling when they succeed in life, diba? It's like, wow,
yeah, yep,
you played a big role. When you see these NBA guys, and when they become superstars and they thank their teachers back in high school,
yep,
like with
yep,
MJ, he got cut from high school basketball. He didn't, and then he says it was like the best thing that ever happened to him, and he's so thankful for his teachers and his coach, for actually doing that so that he would work harder. Yeah,
yep.
it's nice to see, and some of the kids that I've taught who've made it to from beginner level, and now they're in the national team, and you played a role in that. It's a nice feeling to take home, that you somehow made that person better.
Yep, that is such a cool thing to end on. You by coming here have made this show better. Thank you so
Better.
much.
Oh, thanks,
Like
boys.
Thank you so much,
99% better.
Derek, before you go, there is one more thing we have to go because we were talking about your most pivotal work as Pare Pulis ako, and one of our fans has graciously given us a meme that we will send it to you if you please, if it pleases the jury.
If
Let
it
me
pleases the jury.
let me make sure this is the correct one. There you go.
Thank you,
So much.
Lou.
Thank you, Lou.
That-
for that.
Pare, pulis ako.
Thank you so much, Derek. There are a lot of people here who said hi. Derek can go through. You can watch the live stream on your own. You can see the comments later on. We don't want to take any much more of your time. Thank you so much, Derek, for coming on. The kids are
Hey
asleep.
guys, I really enjoyed it. Jeps, you got to write that film, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll pitch it once the pandemic is over. Let's work.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Derek, we're gonna wind this thing down. We'll keep you on for a little bit. We just have a quick thing to ask you when the show is over.
Okay.
But that's about it. Thank you so much for everyone who watched. If you guys enjoyed the stream, please like and share. You can share this to your friends so they can watch it afterwards. Derek, do you have anything to promote? Do you want us to say what's happening in your life?
For me, I just want to say that, guys, stay positive. This year's nearly over. 2021 is going to kick ass. It's going to be totally different from this year. Whatever we've learned in 2020, let's take that over onto 2021 so that this kind of crap never happens again, right? Let's all stay strong, stay positive, and let's enjoy Christmas. The year's nearly over. Let's not forget Christmas is around the corner. Let's enjoy it.
That's a very good message. Let's give early Christmas to some of your fans here. We got a Desiree saying "I love you, Derek." How about an "I love you" back
Hey,
there?
guys, love you too.
We got a Bayet saying "last shout out,"
Bye. Hi.
and our biggest fan, we got Seth Garcia giving applause. Thank you so much, Seth.
Thank you, Seth. We love you, Seth.
That's it. We are kids are asleep. We are on every Tuesdays and Saturdays usually. But if somebody as awesome
Special
as
as there.
Derek tells us we'll change the schedule, we'll change the schedule. Thank you, so much, guys. That's all for us tonight. Everybody, good night, guys.
All right. So yeah, see us again Saturday. We'll be having like a chill stream. Me and Mike and the boys are just gonna hang out. Yeah, and one thing, like Dunkin' Donuts, if you're out there, yeah,
Yes.
manifest.
Yes. Yes. All right.
We have 10 followers, so manifest. We are
They're now
influencer.
They're now officially called Duncan.
Oh, Dunkin'. I'm so old. Oh,
Dunkin'.
Gosh
All right.
darn it. I messed it up. All right. Let's end it.
All right. Good night,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.